money people? What's up with money people? That's his actual picture that he decided. He's like, looked at this and he's like, yeah, I look like I have a soul. And yes, I am making fun of how ugly this fucker is. I'd be an idiot if I left that money on the table that I can make from making fun of this jackass. This whole Unity thing's got me riddled with anxiety right now. Just like, I woke up and read the news. Jessica sent it over. Thanks for sending it over and sending me down the rabbit hole. But let's just talk about this for just a minute. What Unity did was the equivalent to a shoe company being like, you know what? I heard that if we can sell our customers legs, that we'll make $50 a leg. So we need to sell all of our customers legs. And then the rest of the employees are like, sir, if we cut off all of our customers' legs and sell them, we won't be able to sell shoes. He's like, shut up. We're going to make millions right now selling people's legs. Cut all their legs off. Because that's what it feels like right now if you're someone whose worth is a terrible analogy. But if you're someone who's working on a Unity game and you're like, I've been working on this for a while, well, Unity just stabbed you right in the chest. And they're like, keep making that game, and once you're done, we're going to take everything. Now, everyone's screaming and being very dramatic on the internet. I'm going to first break down just really quickly what Unity did in case you're watching this being like, I'm just a gamer and I have no idea, but I'm curious about game development. Well, Unity cannot be trusted. And a lot of that's because a bunch of money bros took it over. And that's always how it goes. It started off as this like awesome thing where it's named Unity. It was about like, hey, let's move away from all the big corporate garbage and just be cool and make creative things together. Then it got big, and then the money bros showed up and were like, we know how to fix this. And everyone's like, God, please stop fixing it. Stop fixing it. Stop fixing it. It's like they always show up and they're like, we know what's best for you artists. And then they fix you to death. Well, that's what's kind of going on right now. They've decided to take a cut of every game that is installed. Not every game that's sold, but they're like, every time a game is installed, we're going to take a cut. And at first, they actually confirmed this at first. They've walked this back already, but they confirmed that, yes, if one person buys it and installs it on their Steam Deck and on their other computer and on their mom's computer, and then next year they install it again, we're going to charge you every single time it's installed. That's what they said. And that was confirmed by the press. Like a press reached out and said, hey, is this real? And they were like, yes. And then after they realized how much people were freaking out, they walked that back and they're like, oh, no, this is only meant to charge you the first time a user installs something. And we have magic software that will tell us how many times it's been installed. This is how they're going to do it. They've got some kind of like, they've got an algorithm and some other stuff that's kind of like, I don't know, they're doing it in a black box. We don't know how they're actually coming up with these numbers, but they can pretty well guesstimate, how many legitimate installations have happened. And what they're going to do is just bill you every single month. You're like, hey, this month, this many people installed your game. And some people mention, when they do charity bundles and stuff, well, they would end up going $60,000 into debt because they did the charity bundle because, they also have to pay for every single installation of those games that they gave away for pennies. Now, Unity has backtracked already and said, like, listen, we're not saying that we're not trying to say the free games and those bundles are going to count. There's been no clarity. It's a shit show. It's absolute nonsense. Now, George Broussard, someone who's been in the games industry longer than any of you, and, well, most of you anyway, he's seen some stuff on the inside. And this is somewhat promising. It makes me feel a little bit better that it's just they did a very terrible job of presenting this, of presenting the greed that goes on behind the scenes. But apparently a lot of the employees behind the scenes were begging the top brass, like, don't do this. Are you stupid? And we live in a society where the rich people think that they know everything. Once you get that rich, everyone just says yes to you all the time, and that's a very dangerous thing because then you run around doing extremely destructive and stupid things like this. And when people say don't do that, they're like, I know everything. I'm rich. And then it's just like, okay. And then shit like this happens, and they've done probably permanent damage to their reputation. And now we know that they can't be trusted. Again, once the dust settles and they walk back a bunch of the really egregious shit, we'll probably realize that it's okay for a lot of us to continue to use the Unity engine and develop a small game and release it, make $10,000 to $200,000 and not have to worry about paying for any of this nonsense. But it's still just extremely weird and shady, the whole thing. And just the ideas of how they're going to accomplish this. How do they know how many installations there are? Everyone was asking, like, okay, what if someone pirates it? Do we have to pay for that? They're like, no, we should know. It's all nonsense. They're like, well, you shouldn't have to pay for this if they pirated. And what if someone were to, instead of, you make a game and someone thinks it's woke or something because there's two guys hug each other. I don't know, whatever bother these idiots now. But what if that happens, and instead of just going in and review bombing you on Steam and GOG and everything, what if they make a little program that installs the thing over and over and over again all night, so you have a gazillion installations that are listed? They're like, oh, no, we'll figure that out too. Don't worry about it. But don't worry, we're going to send you a bill at the end of every month, and that's what you pay. And if you don't like it, then you can launch an investigation into fraud. So that means now we don't just have to make games, we have to launch investigations into fraud. This is what happens when money people get involved. Let me tell you what your job is, money people. Your job is to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of the way of the creative people and then make money off of their stuff because you were there to enable them by giving them the resources they need to eat, sleep, and distribute their products. You do not have any business being involved with any of the creative shit. You do not have any business being involved in telling us how we're going to make our money after it's done, other than the fact that you get your money back. But this whole idea that you're entitled to be this involved and be this invasive and control this much of the process is insanity. This is the Unity CEO. You're a fucking idiot if you don't think about monetization during the creative process. Apologies. No, you don't get to apologize after being a giant ass. That's the opposite of what's important during the creative process, and that's why a lot of the creative stuff is shit right now, is because it's made specifically for people like you who sat down in a meeting and tried to dictate artistic decisions with bullshit like this. Tried to drive the art by saying, what's our ROI going to be? How much money are we going to make per player? How much money are we going to make per login? What's our continued monetization scheme for this product? And I saw some other people who were defending this, just more and more money bros online. You see them everywhere. They're like idiot Elon Musk people, after they pop their head out of Elon Musk's ass and they say something incredibly stupid and pop it back up in there. Well, a few of them popped it out and they're like, every time someone installs your game, they should be spending at least $5 or else you're not monetizing it correctly. And I think that's the mentality for a lot of these people. Okay, someone installs your game on mobile, well, they need to be spending $5 on skins or butts or whatever the hell you're buying in your game. Is that what the people do on phones? The game is about skins and butts. There we go. You just click here and it shoots and the butt jiggles, and then you pay for more butts. Genius. That's what they think games are. They don't think of them as being art or anything like that. And even if they are art, they don't care about the art. They care about the money. Everything's driven by greed. So if this does not turn around, we've got some pretty big ultimate tomatoes around here, like David Szymanski, one of the ultimate tomatoes who made Dusk. I don't know where ultimate tomato, making an ultimatum here. Said it's time to drop Unity, huh? What else we got here? Just a lot of people saying they're time to drop Unity. Giveaways are risky. So they've walked back a lot of this stuff. But earlier in the day, they were saying, yeah, you got to pay for all this stuff because they want everything to be monetized. So they were just like, why wouldn't you monetize? Dylan Rogers working on Gloomwood, another game from New Blood. David Szymanski's also working on this one. Sort of a spiritual successor to Thief and the older games like that. Yeah, they're ready to jump ship. So everyone's ready to jump ship. Everyone's ready, Oh, God. Are we even going to get into this? The insider trading? It's like, okay, did they know how bad this was going to be? Why are they selling off so much stock? Cult of the Lamb over here saying, deleting their game on January 1st when this takes effect. That's insane because, after that, every month whenever someone installs it, they'll have to pay Unity's little stupid runtime fee. Yeah. Anyway, this is a very important article. I think a lot of people should read it. The Death of Unity. There we go. 7-minute read. Just came out. It's on GameDeveloper.com, and where's their big quote right here? Right here. But now I can say unequivocally, if you're starting a new game project, do not use Unity. If you started a project 4 months ago, it's worth switching to something else. Unity is quite simply not a company to be trusted. And I think that's my big takeaway here, not how terrible this is, because they are going to walk a lot of this back. They have to. There's going to be such an outcry. But now we know we cannot trust them. Then they have no idea what they're doing. We've known that they're kind of shady for a while now, and it was a pragmatic choice to be like, oh God, all the tools are so much better when it comes to the types of games that I like to make, like the 2D games. 3D games, fuck off Unity. I'm using Unreal. Really, really, really simple games, Godot. But Godot does not have the ecosystem that Unity has yet. I think it will, and I think that it's going to be the indie king at one point. But right now, it still has a bit too high of a barrier for entry. And we were able to make some cool stuff with Godot, but doing all that in Unity was way faster, and I had way more power, and that's because of a few different things. The plugin ecosystem, the market that they have on Unity is really nice. There's some junk on there, but a lot of it is really good. So we have a chicken and egg problem right now. And that is, where's everybody going to go? There's a lot of people on the Unity marketplace that are making a lot of money on the stuff that they're selling on there. And they need to make sure that they can continue to have that income. They've got families, they got lives, they got to eat. So where do they go? And if the people are all going to stay on Unity, then they have to continue supporting their products on Unity. But if everyone goes to Godot, can they go to Godot? People on Godot are not really used to spending money on plugins. A lot of it's geared towards free, but hopefully we're going to see more premium stuff on there. I think that's a completely valid thing. You're making a game, you're going to use Godot, and then you're going to sell it for money. Well, yeah, you use some really awesome high quality tools and you paid for those. That's something I think that should be on Godot. But there's moving to Godot is a lot easier than moving to Unreal Engine. It's a totally different thing. Because Godot uses Godot script and also C#, just like what Unity uses. But you got C++ over on Unreal Engine, which is faster. But I don't know, does Unreal Engine work with C+ or C# yet? I don't know. But anyway, people who've made their stuff for Unity will have a much easier time porting it over to Godot, but the Unreal ecosystem is a lot bigger. I would love to see in 10 years that was the case, that we'd moved away from Unity, because it's a really, really, really awful company right now. And as long as you got these idiot money bros running the show, you can't trust them. There's a lot of money people running or working in Unreal, but they're from the industry. So even though they may have greedy tendencies, they still understand how the system works, how gaming works, and I don't think they're going to do anything quite this stupid. All right, I'm done kind of rambling for now. I'm going to continue to work on this little thing I'm doing in Unity, because I'm kind of far into it, and I've gotten pretty good at putting things together by myself in Unity, and it's kind of had me stressed today, but I don't think it's going to be successful enough to qualify for this runtime installation fee. But I also feel pretty stupid about doing this. It's like, I can move back to Godot, but it was a lot more difficult to do very simple things. I made things happen in Godot, mostly because Jessica was helping me, thank you. But in Unity, I could do a lot of that on my own. With ease. So, God. Yeah. I really know my way around Unreal Engine too, so they don't have the same systems that I was using. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat as me. So, hi, how are you? If you like the little game I've been showing off, it's called Satanic Panic. It's chapter 1 of a bigger game that I wanted to work on, but now I don't know if I want to keep doing that in Unity. I'll be pragmatic. I'll watch and see what they do, but my main goal is to get out fun games to the people, and I don't think a lot of people sitting at home on their Switch or their computer or whatever really give a fuck about any of this. They just want to push button, have fun thing happen, learn something, enjoy the artwork that is the game. They don't care how it's made. They don't care if it's made with Game Maker or Unreal or Unity or Godot. They don't care. They just want to play. So I want to get them something that they enjoy. I want to get them something that maybe makes them think a little bit. That's my goal. And whatever is going to do that the best with the least amount of evil, sort of a pragmatic balance right there, I'll use that. So are you an indie dev? Are you moving away from Unity? Let me know. See you in the comments.